Yeah.
Macao, Macao. This is where it has been happening all week. You're watching the WTT Champions Macao 2025 presented by Galaxy Entertainment Group. And as the sun sets over a beautiful mirror-like water, there is nothing chill about what's to come. We've been waiting all week to see who would be the last two standing. Well, the DJ's more than standing, he's jumping because we have a performance in-house that has been incredible, from the guzheng to the pipa, traditional Chinese instruments with the ill beats of DJ house yoga combined in this epic mashup. We've got some epic matchups coming for you. The two finals on the final day. It's the last session. We've got Hugo Calderano, the Thrill from Brazil, in a rematch against Lionheart Hope Wang Chuqin, the two-time Macau Champions champion. But first, we've got one other final coming up. It is the world number one, Her Royal Majesty Sun Yingxia. World number one battling against the world number two, the rivalry of this generation, a world champion of 2021, Wang Manyu. So here's a look at how they got here. Sun Yingxia through Bernie Such 3-1 after beating Anna Hersey. Diaz before that, Adriana was incredible. Guaiman, Wang Manyu through Tong Tong, Zhu Yuling, and Hina Hayata. And now the two undefeated players meet for one final match to determine the champion. As strong as can be, the world number two, determined in a rivalry that has defined this generation of women's table tennis, the 2021 world champion, a woman who's taken many titles in the WTT era, stands behind only one other woman in the world order.
From China, Sun Yingxia.
And that woman is here. She's been 3 years plus world number one. She's taken more titles than anybody in the WTT era. She is cool, she is calm, she is strong through the legs, as swift as can be. She is Sun Yingxia. This is a best of 7 battle. The first player to win 4 games to 11 must win by 2. Will be the champion of the WTT Champions Macau. So in their WTT head-to-head, Xia is 9-1, 90% in WTT events. That said, overall 17-9, the world ranked number 1 versus the world ranked number 2, and it's been that way for some time. Look at this, in the finals, 80% of the time Xia wins, 50% of the time Wang Manyu wins, but 50 is not too bad. And here she is, our umpire, Marie Pinkowicz from Australia, a veteran table tennis player, will be taking care of the coin toss for the women's singles final to determine where the players stand and who serves. No coaches on benches. We've seen 4-0s both ways between these two. We've seen deciders. We don't know what we're going to get here today.
Red or blue? Red for one. Red. Receive. You're serving this side.
So Xia will start off with the serve as Wang Manyu wins the toss, chooses to receive. I'm Adam Bobrow, and alongside me, happy to have my partner in crime and commentary, but mostly commentary, Fraser Riley. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Adam. So much hype here in the Infinity Arena for this women's singles final. A 12 final between them here. Cannot wait for this one.
There have been lines around the building. This is the big hype moment every time Sun Ying-Xia plays. The question is, will anyone be able to stop her? Wang Manyu's been able to do it before. We've seen the score lines, both in wonderful form. We'll have a chance to see how they got here in a bit. 26 years old, and when she was 18, she burst onto the scene, same time as Xia, who was 16 at the time. 6 titles to her name. That's way more than most, especially considering the caliber of titles. Had a walkover as Jung Yi-Jing fell injured before the round of 32. So the first match was Hina Hayata, and man, was that close, a decider. After that, Wang Manyu, fully warmed up, said, no more. You shall not pass. Zhu Yuling, a bagel. Chen Xingtong 4-2. Quite a fight there in the semifinal just earlier today. This is a lot. 2 best-of-7s in the same day with all the pressure. But the 24-year-old here, there's so much to be said about her. 91% WTT win and 16 titles to her name. I was talking about how impressive 6 is. Add another 10 to that. And look at this. Talk to me about some of these matches.
Yeah, the Welsh wildcard here on a champion's debut. Hershey putting up a good fight. The same kind of fight that Soch and Diaz were able to as well before Kwai Man there, managing to take a game better against Sun Ying-Xia than what she was in the World Cup final, but Sun Ying-Xia reigning victorious.
And they've both been Macau champions before here at the Champions Macau in 2023. Over Chun Meng, Wang Manyu would take down the eventual back-to-back Olympic champion in Wang Manyu with a big title. But then next year, which is last year to us now, it was Sun Ying-Xia to take down Wang Yidi 4-2 in the final. So neither of them in the last 2 years has faced the other one. They are the top 2 in the world, and they stand across from each other to determine who will take the smaller trophy and $30,000 less than the winner of this match. $60,000 US to the champion. Fan vote 59% behind Sun Ying-Xia. That's not a bad representation. 41%. Cast your votes at worldtabletennis.com or the WTT app. You don't have a lot of time before the men's final. Make sure you get that vote in.
First game, Sun to serve, Lovell.
So here we go. Buckle up. The ride is about to begin. It's a best-of-7. World number 1, Sun Ying-Xia to start with the serves. Love all. Testing waters out here. You can feel it. Right now, it's a little bit of a cautious, just sort of stepping forward to see what the opponent does to what you leave on the table. But a solid serve earns a third ball attack, and it's a flip kill. Xia putting it away.
Yeah, complete juxtaposition there from Sun Ying-Xia. A very quick floaty serve. And look what she does to it. Instant punishment.
It's funny, even with heavy side spin, if there's not as much of anything else on it, you misread. That's what can happen. So whether it's a float serve or simply an axis of rotation that's unrecognizable, there are a lot of ways to deceive the receiver. Wang Manyu is able to break one serve. And the same is given back, so they're 2-2, but she's not afraid to step around and play some power. She looked quite powerful throughout this week, Wang Manyu.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Wang Manyu's power here, particularly with the forehand. Went for a few big kill finishes against Chen Qintong before managing to win in 6, but her toughest match here against Tina Hayata, she was 2-1 down in a best of 5.
3-2.
Now talk to us a little bit about some of the differences between Wang Manyu and Sun Yingxia.
Sun Yingxia, I'd say, has the lower centre of gravity. She's the more compact, I'd say more powerful player overall. But Wang Manyu, incredibly quick player over the table. Oh my goodness, down the line across the body. Seatbelt shot from Xia.
Speaking of speed, right here, the adjustments. Wow. It was as if you could see in the replay, Wang Manyu knew where her opponent was moving and said, I'm going to make it as uncomfortable as I possibly can, yet still Xia found her way to get over that.
And that was one of the toughest shots to try and play against that receive as well. Crazy shot from Sun Yingxia.
So 3 in a row for Xia. That was fascinating. That was like a strict teacher on the first day of school. Class got silent.
Yeah, very quickly as well.
I was hesitant to speak at all in that moment, my goodness. It's unbelievable. For one moment, after all these just super powerful shots from Wang Manyu on both wings, the second it comes back slightly softer, Xia jumps in and finishes the point.
That was a cold finish there from Sun Yingxia.
6-2.
She's got an incredible wingspan, Wang Manyu. We saw there how she could abbreviate her stroke to counter, managing to protect the crossover there as well with a bit of a fade, but Sun Yingxia, with all that racket speed and power, what a finish.
6-3.
Good combination, second shot to the deep backhand. Here's Wang Manyu brings in Xia and then tests the in and out game and the footwork.
I know that she is the most dominant player in the modern era, Sun Yingxia, but I was amazed to see that 9-1 WTT head-to-head. Makes you wonder how much of it is a confidence thing and how much of it is just the fact that Sun Yingxia is the slightly stronger player. Incredible.
Yeah, it is interesting to memory. Of course, WTT, the main marquee events. So 90% win rate against the world number 2. Quite a distance in front of the rest of the world.
4-7.
Help off the net. You could hear the tick there on the way over, the change of rhythm. The gasps back and forth, the little exhales as they had to stretch to the wide backhands in this speedy pace.
Another example of kind of testing the waters, both biding their time, not being passive, but being controlled, and then eventually an injection of pace there into that hip.
There's such fine margins that even though these shots might look exactly the same, they're constantly moving targets, just checking to see if the other one tips the scale, if they get the other one to turn. In the end, Wang Manyu did to Sun Yingxia. Cracking power the backhand when she decides. It's amazing the consistency that Xia has in these high-pressure moments.
I mean, she's known as a more forehand-orientated player, but the backhand here, a rocket backhand from Sun Yingxia, is mind-blowingly good.
From behind the table, even Wang Manyu with her wingspan and her footsteps, it's just so much ground to cover. And with a clever, fast Xia, this is what happens. Gets her leaning for a moment. As soon as the weight goes onto that left leg, there's an opening, and Xia sniffs it out. Clever flick. I was impressed that that didn't immediately win the point or at least set up a kill shot, but Xia, watch how she recovers this flick. moving back, turns sideways, sends it to the back of the table on the backhand side, and it sets up 5 game points.
10,
Extra power,
6.
good speed to save this one.
We've seen a few times here the server trying to bait the opponent to flick. And the receiver's been able to touch or push, and that's actually helped the receiver there. Talk about investing in the speed and spin game and then paying the price for not recovering quickly enough. That's going to be a reoccurring theme in this final.
Ten, 7.
Good down the line parallel backhand as Wang Manyu escapes and saves another game point. Still has a ways to climb in this uphill battle, which is game 1.
Did well there to recover the net cord, Wang Manyu.
Well, now, both serves, the points before it, or point before it, so that's 3 in a row for Wang Manyu. Despite some long serves, taking some chances out here, Wang Manyu's making it really tough for the most dominant woman in the game right now to cross this finish line. Serves back with Wang Manyu should she get through the first. Keeping that hand cool for the grip, the control. Kicking shovel serve, and Shasha turns the corner and takes it to the bank. Game number 1 in the pocket, so investments, payments aside, it's a 1-0 lead, and she is off to a good start up here in the business world. That is a $60,000 or $30,000 prize money match right now.
She puffs her cheeks out at the end there, Sun Ying-sha. It was a bit of a late flourish there from Wang Manyu. Ended up being a lot closer than what it looked like it might be. Good start though from Sun Ying-sha.
So a tight game 1 and game 2 to follow.
Second game, Wang to serve, Lovell.
Back for game 2, Wang Manyu with some momentum, taking back and saving many game points. The grunts don't stop, and the finishing shot is cross court, testing each other. There's some serious footwork in this. Talk about movement, extension. This rally, one of the best yet, if not the.
Yeah, I agree, Adam. That was just top draw there. Wang Manyu so quickly turning the tables. Fully extended after that Sha switch. Incredible athleticism. Oh!
How does it take this many to win a point? As soon as Manyu hit it to the backhand side of Shasha in this rally, it looked like it would have been over. Right there. But Shasha has the answer time and time again. Quick. That finishing backhand from Manyu.
Dangerous long serve. Wang Manyu attacks, and it comes back again with interest off of that Sha backhand. Oh, apologises there yet. Didn't see that it clipped the net.
Soft hands leaving it short on the forehand side in an uncomfortable place. It even makes it more uncomfortable that Wang Manyu's perfectly in position should the ball come back cross court. This is crazy to me. Wang Manyu's head gets so low after that first forehand. There it was. That's the one where she popped right back up. She went out of frame for a minute, and still she's finding these little windows of opportunity to race through just past on the forehand.
It's a tough serve to touch that one. The shovel action coming in there. Wang Manyu's more signature serve. You usually see the pendulum from Xia. It's tough to touch a ball that has been contacted like that, because it could easily be topspin. You've got to really read it. You've got to watch that contact point. It's probably the most popular serve right now in the women's game, this shovel.
But here a pendulum and some consistent power as Sun Ying-Xia stays on top of the bounce.
I was expecting to see Wang Manyu being the more dominant player with the backhand, but Sun Ying-Xia playing backhands from another planet here. So much acceleration. So it's not too obvious really what you can do if you're Wang Manyu. And she knows Xia well.
And another backhand to add to that tally list here, that check. 3 in a row from down 1-4. Remember, it's a best of 7, and there are no coaches on benches because both players are playing for the same national team. Coaches tend to stay uninvolved when that happens since the semifinals in the women's draw. It's unbelievable. Again, we see this backhand speed. You ask anybody in the world what's Xia's best shot, 9 times out of 10, like her head-to-head in WTT versus Wang Manyu, they're going to highlight the forehand. But it seems that she's just juiced up that backhand a notch because it is unstoppable right now. What are you thinking, Fraser?
Just thinking about Xia's dominance in the sport right now, and I'm thinking what it's going to take to stop her. I mean, Kwai Man, the world number 4 in that semi-final, played some pretty good table tennis, but got outclassed in the end. In their last meeting, in the final of the Europe Smash, it was 4-2 to Sun Ying-Xia. So Wang Manyu wants to at least do that again. She'll be hungry for revenge.
5-6.
It's funny, I was thinking something similar about Xia. Usually, the players come in pairs. They come up through Team China, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think motivation just to keep leveling up, to fuel each other, like Alexis and Felix, like Jorgen and Jan-Ove.
Yeah.
Just need that extra push. Oh, the test, redirection, Xia. This is only to level the playing field. In the women's game, even within Team China, it's the same. Wang Manyu, Sun Ying-Xia, Zhu Yuling and Chen Meng, Liu Shiwen and Ding Ning. Just so many. Wang Nan, Zhang Yining. It goes on and on. Cycles, 2 that lead. But now it feels a little bit that one is standing out, and then they're sort of fighting after that. But Wang Manyu is still stood above the rest. From Chen Xingtong to Wang Yidi to Kwai Man, she's here more often than the rest.
7-6.
Extra strength on this. The forehand, a little longer stroke from Wang Manyu as she pulls it wide.
It's incredible how many rallies we've seen where both players have played full power and the ball has still been returned. It's unbelievable, the resilience of these women.
Quick combination, 1 to the middle half long and then deep to the backhand corner. Xia, as you mentioned, has returned a lot of these with interest. They are Very high pressure shots, not easy to deliver time and time again, especially with the quality Wang Manyu's bringing.
Yeah. Well, there, clever combination from Sun Ying-sha. Half-long service. Wang Manyu tries to brush it. Adapts there, Wang Manyu. She didn't know it was going to come long initially and pays the price. Again, that relentless backhand. Waxing lyrical about it at the moment.
Bit of extra spin, hot to handle. Sha levels it once again. I just think to myself, in terms of context, we know it's the biggest honor to represent China in table tennis. This has been the sport that, in some senses, brought China into the rest of the world. They befriended everybody. It opened the doors. The sport that has shown the world the excellence that China has. The back edge of the table here. But in moments like this, what would it mean? The motivation. Wang Manyu, anything she could do to get the best performance out here. It's essentially a different pressure. It's all up to the players at this point. When you're playing someone wearing any other flag, there's punishment waiting if you don't win. It's a big deal. Here, this is an individual basis. And for such a communal team and say culture, it is interesting to see, but it's a chance for them to really shine, to show where that extra work, the extra time put in, homework at night, whatever it may be, extra days in the weight room, focus. I'm always curious about the round before this, how much it affects the players as they come into the final.
When you think that these two have shared the training hall, shared the stage for so long, it makes it even more impressive that Sha-Sha's managed to win as many matches against Wang Manyu as she has, in a row, especially. Oh, but a chance here for the world number 2. There was always the chance, but this is one that she has to really try and take.
Despite us playing in China right now, home court advantage is a traveling portable Sha fan club. Wang Manyu's got her fair share of fans here as well, but she's playing against home court advantage for the world number 1. Sha saves game point. We go to alternating serves. It is deuce in game number 2.
As cool as you like from Sun Ying-sha. She knows exactly when she doesn't need to attack as well. See them watching on there, Marlin, at the top of your screen. Xu Yi, Chen Yi, Wang Yidi, Kuai Man. Don't recognize some of the other ones, but I imagine they're either sparring partners or youth players.
There's that extra acceleration from the middle, taking the opportunity all the way to the bank. That leap forward, gets the body behind it. Here's the spin, cover. Now she moves forward. Really had to reach out for that, using that wingspan in the forward sense to take it that much earlier, and it pays off. Game point, second time, Wang Manyu. Oh, that backhand blistering right to the baseline, and it bounces so fast over the racket.
Light speed. Laser focused. My goodness, we've seen top edges that haven't been as powerful as that.
So low to the net. That had everything. Quality, can't ask for a better backhand, and it just saves a game point. Back to level here. She sits on another game point. It's tough. You need what you can get whenever you have an opportunity to take it. Trying to shake out any tension here. You can imagine there's plenty of it from Wang Manyu. Playing incredibly well every other point. You lose, I'd say, the advantage. You just have that risk that there's a net or an edge or Sha turns it up just a bit. Sizing up the opponent to decide her serve. She's got game point.
12 all.
Nice Chiquita.
Yeah, not so much topspin on it coming around the side of the ball, Wang Manyu. And it just goes right into the bottom of the net there off Sun Yingsha's racket. Good placement as well on that one, and a brave shot to take, especially given the fact that Sun Yingsha's managed to play the opening after Wang Manyu has flicked in this game.
Yeah, that was quite an early commitment. She got in nice and fast, turned the racket down. Third deuce point. Oh, the break. What a cover. The receive, you could feel from this angle the height on it, but the placement forced Wang Manyu to let it drop a little bit, stay on the defense. And the time she saves with that gets her prepared for the flick. The break sets up yet another game point. Third game point, Wang Manyu. The big forehand into the middle, and Sha sends it back once more. We've seen some long games. Remember, it's first to 11, must win by 2. There's no limit on how many points. Good cover of the middle there, short stroke from right in near the rib cage, Sha. Well,
13,
now,
14.
this is untouched. Proof, double stamped mint condition serve. The drop right after, I love it. Little bit of deception on serve to set up a fourth game point. Wang Manyu. The coach might have called the timeout. Oh, what a combination, deep as can be on the cross court, and the follow-up right down the line. It took 2 incredible shots in a row, and they were uncatchable. The second one, get ready, big step around, short recoil, and just inside the line. Oh, the satisfaction. You could see the core crunch as she clinches the fist and captures game number 2. We're tied up at 1 game apiece. Man, is this final off to an interesting start. With no coaches on the benches, 11-8 in the first for Sha, 15-13 for Wang Manyu, and back for game 3.
Third game, Sun to serve, Lovell.
Back for game number 3, the most dominant woman in the game. Got narrowly beaten in the last. Back and forth they go. She starts here, Sha.
Love
Little
1.
split step and a bit of a net here to save Wang Manyu.
Let's see how Wang Manyu does now, because so far at this event, well, all the way up to the final, whenever Sha has dropped a game, she hasn't dropped another after that. That's the kind of player she is. And it's normally the kind of player Wang Manyu is as well, but, well, Sha seems to be the more clinical player at the moment.
Late. 1 all.
Oh, good save. The soft hands. For the second time in this game, a little fortune goes Wang Manyu's way, but keeping it cool under pressure. Elsa over here on the Sha side. Check it out. Under the table, keeps it nice and low to the net. What spin was on it? Well, tough to tell. Wang Manyu had a lot to control.
Outstanding forehand there from Sun Ying-sha. I think in the point before, Wang Manyu ended up a little bit too close to the ball. She was surprised by the depth of Sun Ying-sha after that net cord.
I think after having seen Lin Shidong play 2 rollers off similar shots, she wanted to make sure she didn't allow a second bounce potentially.
Yeah.
When the ball's wide enough, you don't have to hit it over the net. This is interesting. The step when Sha goes inside out. She played earlier today, but I'm still having memories back to the Adriana Diaz match and how Sha looked uncomfortable with the shots coming in. Again, if you ever see Sha looking uncomfortable, that is massive respect to the opponent. When you want it so bad, you work so hard to get an opportunity, but there's not as much time. The ball doesn't reach you before Sha gets there. That's an issue. You know that you're playing the ball, but you're also playing to the opponent's positioning. Imagine that. You see an opening, but the ball hasn't reached you yet. A lot of motivation here. Only one of those W's is going to stand for winner. Don't get me wrong, they've won all their matches, but in this final match, the first towel break, it's Sun Ying-sha on top by 2.
Let 2-4.
Almost brings it back over. That flick, so impressive that the rally continues.
Again, yeah, unbelievable. You can't hit a forehand flick any better than this. Perfect technique, comes back, Sha still recovers, and she still manages, under that pressure, to find a crossover. How are you even thinking about that in real time, with such little time?
I've got an analogy for you.
What's that, mate?
You drive a car?
I don't, not yet.
Okay.
Learning.
When most people learn to drive a car, the idea of focusing on anything other than the road and the steering wheel is crazy. Touch the radio, forget it. Taking the keys away.
Yeah.
Later on in life, drive with your knees, change radio. I mean, I'm not recommending it, but I'm just saying it becomes second nature. And for Sha, there's so many things that are second nature to her now. Ooh! Well handled there as Wang Manyu handles a blast from behind the table and guides it back. You don't see Sha that far behind the table that often. Sent on a chase. She doesn't get passive, but smart slowdown there by Wang Manyu.
You're right in what you're saying, Adam. The training's doing the talking. The technique is so good that they can act upon instinct. That's how they can play so decisively.
Sort of like when you don't have to think about it anymore. It's one less thing on your to-do list. It just naturally happens.
Yeah, there is no how do I do this. It's just I'll do this.
Right. This is how progress works. You train something into your muscle memory, it becomes a habit, then you add something new and you just keep polishing the game and adding on. But the quality on this one, tip low on that backhand. Sha dips low to get in and drive it deep to the backhand. This cross-court opening pressure this early in the point. When you think about the serves and the quality, it puts extra pressure on Manyu, which is why she turns.
Goodness me, I can't recall the last time I've seen a player backhand serve.
Wang Manyu anyway, and it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So 4-point lead at the second towel break. Just a reminder, this is the final match in the women's singles event. 16 titles for Sun Ying-sha.
9-4.
You said it earlier, anytime someone has taken a game, she hasn't allowed another offer. Still early in this match, and there's been a winning side. Shasha's on it right now.
You mentioned the 16 titles, Adam. In terms of total senior titles, currently at 26, Shasha. 24.
She's 24 years old, not even 25 yet. Oh, the turn. One step and a racket high. She redirects traffic right through the open lane on the forehand side of Manyu. When you know combinations, 6 of the last 8, you can just take control, the momentum. Wang Manyu needed that point. Game number 1, she was down 5-10 and won 3 points in a row. It wasn't enough. The happy feet of Shasha is becoming more of a habit. I've seen it more than I remember.
On receive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Me too. Something cute about it.
It's almost like a kid in an arcade. Maybe it's like a Mario shuffle. Maybe that's what inspired her. She loves Mario. 3 game points saved, Wang Manyu.
Those 2 forehand flicks will feel really good after what Shasha's been able to do.
10-7.
The combination, the first one a quality spin and then a rip to follow. I always wonder what's going on in the heads. I have my guesses from time to time, but there's a reason she's so far ahead of the rest of the world. These players are just beyond what you can imagine. When you see them against each other, it's tough to appreciate. Streak continues, 5 points in a row. She won last game 15-13. What are you thinking?
This kind of feels similar to game 1, a late flourish from Manyu.
Yeah, started 1 point farther behind, but very similar indeed. When it feels like it's over, if you ever wonder, does a player just want to say, let's just get on with the next game? I think if there's a chance to take the game you're in now, why let it slip? Worst case scenario, you remind the opponent that you're dangerous, that you're serious. You add pressure. Perfect combination. We've seen this pattern before. Wang Manyu earned her opportunity to get Shasha off the table. Right here. And she waits patiently in that backhand corner to play it down the line.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And she's really paddling on now. Oh, timeout time.
So Shasha
Timeout.
will sit down and think this one through. It's a receive for Sun Yingsha. So she's giving a minute as well to Wang Manyu to figure out what she wants to do on serve. Remember, the first shot in this next rally is that of Wang Manyu. Sometimes icing the kicker, just causing a little bit of break in momentum. Just a reminder, by the way, Sun Yingsha, again, the list goes on and on. Champions events, these are her last 5 tier results. Champion at the WTT Champions Incheon 24, Chongqing 2024, Macau 2024, she's the defending champion. Chongqing 2025, back-to-back wins there. And Yokohama, last Champions event. That's pretty crazy. She's, oh, finalist there, actually, sorry. C's and F's look so similar, H's and I's, N's and A's. Okay, so she's human. Yokohama, I just got so used to seeing champion there, I assumed I didn't even have to look at the word.
Usually that can be the case with her.
Yeah. Good thing we got a production team here that knows how to read and can help me out when I don't.
You can borrow these if you want.
I appreciate it. Fraser just offered me his prescription glasses. Okay, well, back from the timeout. No one out here needing prescription glasses. Although Wang Manyu does love to read.
9-10.
But she won't be reading spin on serve. That'll be up to Shasha here, the receiver, back from her timeout. With 5 points played against her, 5 game points saved before this. Short receive and the forehand flick, the 4th ball. The timeout has been cashed in after all that drama. A quick 1 minute break, a little bit of hydration. The happy feet come out right there. She shuts down a third ball. And that fourth shot, that is crazy.
Have we seen either of these two miss a forehand flick? Bearing in mind every single one has been so powerful. I don't know, I can't recall. Unbelievable closure and composure.
Some high percentages on some low percentage shots. 11-9, Xia goes up 2-1, and it's the same side of the table. We'll see if the pattern continues in game 4 with Wang Manyu. Just in case you were curious about the world rankings, the dreamy music, because it's a dream to be 12,200 points. This is the difference between world number 1 and world number 2. My goodness, 4,300 points ahead. Look at the difference between 2 and 3, 3 and 4. It just continues to get tighter and tighter. Xia socially distanced and then some. If she wins here, well, it'll continue to stretch that gap.
Fourth game, Wang to serve, level.
So what do you think Wang Manyu needs to change here to help her chances?
Love 1.
I think that she might have to try and make this a more forehand-orientated match. I don't think she wants to be playing backhands too much. I don't think she wants to be even trying to protect any kind of crossover section with her backhand. She needs to try and finish the point as soon as possible, I feel.
Good pressure, relatively deep in a rally, surviving, keeping her position well. She did this in the late parts of last game. After all, she's got more momentum right now than Xia. From 4-10 down, won 5 in a row, then just one for Xia, and here they're split.
Let 1 all. No flash, please. 1 all. One, 2.
What are your thoughts, Fraser?
I'm liking that pickup there from Wang Manyu. No real surprises on the faces there. Feel like this is a bit of a ticking time bomb, this final, even though we've seen some amazing rallies and shots and plays. This one, for me, has all the potential to go the distance.
Yep, they definitely are the great rivalry of this generation. Curious how many times, second to last time they played, they went to a decider. It's happened quite a bit over the years. Not quite 50-50, but here, this is way up at 90, the percentage speed and power on this. One soft spin, and then the timing. Took it off the bounce, shovel serve. Got a slightly passive shot from Xia, knew she could jump on it.
I think it's always good to consider the motive and the, you know, what it would mean for the two players. And Wang Manyu, as the world number 2, hasn't won a WTT Series event this season. That's rare. That's rare and it's unusual.
Both. That's crazy that it's both rare and unusual. What are the odds? I should be grounded. All right, here we go. 2 serving 4.
I've got an argument for you.
Let
Diamonds are rare, but they're not unusual in
2,
Macau.
4.
Well, you got specific. You said in Macau the second time. That doesn't count. Nice try.
3, 4.
Tightening up the score line here. Xia back within 1. We've seen leads. They've gone back and forth here. The biggest lead, what, 10-4 last game. That's the biggest one I recall. Next thing you know, it was a 1-point ball game and a timeout was called. Wang Manyu still has hers if she should need it. Would like to be able to save that for later in the match.
Guided flick that time into the crossover. Haven't heard the Sun Ying-sha fans this loud in a while.
Well, here's a moment for you to take note of. I don't think it's the first time, but it has been rare, the forehand flick not coming down. Again, a big part of that is the awareness of where the opponent stands on the other side of the table. Am I up too much? Is it going to come back to the baseline? Will I have time to get back down? Will it put pressure on? Will it set up the point the way I want? Oh, the power. That sound is so sweet. And there's still topspin on it, but there's a lot of forward motion.
Yeah, perfect technique. She's low. She meets the ball at exactly the right point. Clever combination, long surprise factor serve to middle. Wang Manyu, she's quite surprised, plays the safest option there, and Sun Ying-sha playing the backhand from middle, nudging it out wide. Lovely.
Tight serve to the forehand side. Wang Manyu takes her chances, moving over for the Chiquita. The backhand on the forehand side. And she tries to go the other way instead of Chiquita. Tries to play it to the wide forehand. Gets there early. Has some options, but Xia immediately moving with the ball in terms of covering herself to make sure she's not exposed.
And that rushed Wang Manyu, and it made her want to play with too much power from where she was.
Another look here at a rally that earns a roar. Rip of a forehand. One more time. And then even wider. Oh, it's so cool that she can just pull the ball. What a dream to be able to do whatever you want to a ball in any given moment. You're playing one of the top 2 players in the world. Though we saw the standings and the points. That is fast. Dropping low. A little bit of fortune, whatever it may have been. She offers a quick apology, but man, was that a surprising shot.
That's mind-boggling. That's line blurring. To even try and take that on from a fairly low point off of such a spinny ball, margin for error there close to 0. But she masters those.
You were talking about the distance. 8 times out of 26 times they've played, it's come down to the decider.
Okay. It's quite regularly. But that was
fairly often, you could say.
Most of those, I guess, were before the birth of WTT. I'm
Correct.
guessing, yeah.
Oh, break off the net. And at least not during. So if it was during the time, they were at other events, say ITTF events.
Yeah.
See how much this changes the timing. Xia was already up and moving for that ball to the backhand. Crucial moments here. Nice idea, the push to the backhand. Wang Manyu did not go cross court when she was taken out wide. And then she was in control. Again, just over 30% of the time they go to the decider when they play. The last grunt didn't reach the ball. 2 game points here as Wang Manyu at the 3rd towel break has the last grunt in that point, at least successfully. I like it when they start. It's almost like they're shaking hands. They're saying, okay, you want to go? Let's do this. The grunt battle begins. I'm not going to let you down. You're turning it up. Me too.
The gloves are off.
Yeah. Deep serve for an outright service point. Saves 1.
I was wrong because I didn't think that Wang Manyu would be able to impose herself as much as she's been able to here with her backhand. But I think that the way that she's opened the point with the push has really, really helped.
Well, let's see what she chooses to do here on receive. And a timeout now. I was wondering, you probably saw me looking down there a minute ago. As soon as it became 9-10, I thought this is a crucial moment in this match for Wang Manyu. Can she come back from 1 minute of solitary? I wouldn't say confinement. She can roll around, do what she wants on that bench, or stand up if she wants, but she's got 1 minute by herself with all her experience, all her reading. Different coaches, years and years of the most wise, strong coaches in the world, in the best system the sport has ever known, to find an answer to the best player in the game right now. Now this time I'm not going to mess this up because they're all champions across the bottom. 3 instead of 5, but here are her best tier results. WTT Champions Budapest 2022 finalist, just kidding, champion. Champions Macau 2023 champion. WTT Champions Frankfurt 2024 champion. Champion. So, let's see here. It's been 2 years since she was champion of this event. Frankfurt, not too shabby. Going to be coming up not too long. We've got 2 more champions events following the China Smash. My goodness, this is the time. This is the part of the year where table tennis fans are like, I'm calling in sick for work for 2 months. I'm not telling your boss. I'm just saying, hey, nobody on their deathbed regrets that they didn't work hard enough. Enjoy. Here we go.
Please.
9,
10.
serving 10. Wow, wow. Brains, 2 soft shots, the push and the slow spin. And then from behind the table, rocket shot, a change of pattern. Check this out, soft 1, soft spin, crack. And the timeout has been cashed in on both sides. Top 2 in the world. Wang Manyu's been incredible, the world champion in 2021, but has not yet been world number 1. This will not make her world number 1, but it would be a step in the right direction should she take this match. The pattern continues. Shasha comes back to the winning side in game number 5. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what that cryptic thing is, it's a QR code. Bring out your phone right now. If you're watching on your phone, borrow a friend, scan it, buy your tickets, because Montpellier, France, it's a WTT Champions event, and it will be packed. Tickets will be gone if they're not already.
Game, Sun to serve, level.
I assume they're not because the QR code was on screen. That'd be funny if an ad came up that's like, oh, by the way, it's sold out. But watch it here.
Yeah, please come along to that.
Love 1.
It'll be my first time. I'm excited. I watched it online last year, and it was just electric. The best atmosphere I've ever seen, and it wasn't in China.
Yeah.
Good time right now for French table tennis. Oh, love it. This one right here, I could watch in slow motion over and over. Silhouettes, black and white. I hope somebody clips it and does a nice montage of every different way they could show this, how low she gets.
Oh my goodness, her right knee scraped the floor. You could hear the screech at the feet where she pulled out her weight from beneath herself. What a shot, what a counter, what a start.
Slavic squats. Do whatever you can to keep those hips ready to twist, turn, and get yourself agile. For moments like this, Wang Manyu off to a wonderful start. Remember, both timeouts have been pulled.
Let 3 love.
Clever idea, confident to go for this shot. She's made tougher. Wasn't easy, but soft hands as Sun Ying Sha protects and gets her first point this game. I like this. Again, it's not just the shot itself, but where you are for the shot coming back. Wang Manyu makes a quality shot, but leaves Sha very little option for where to go. If she doesn't choose to open up to the forehand, she tries for the wide ball, and there's no table there.
I feel like Sha has to try and get more balls into the forehand of Wang Manyu. I feel like Wang Manyu's covered that middle and backhand so well, having improved that from the start of the last game. I don't know, feels like we haven't seen Sha-Sha's forehand into that forehand very much, and it feels like we've seen her stick to that pendulum serve from backhand half. Could we see some alterations there, perhaps?
Well, she used the serve well to set up a third ball attack in that rally. Had her pickings for where to go.
Let 4-2.
Well, you got your wish twice in a row, and Wang Manyu had the answer here. Not to say that it's always a question of timing, right? What's the right shot? Well, you need context. Had to pull the right foot back on the first to make space for that backswing. Wang Manyu perfectly in position.
2-6.
I just feel like sustainably that's where Sun Ying Sha wants to be playing, but Wang Manyu managing to handcuff her. This shovel serve again, a recipe for success, but the push has been so aggressive, so precise.
There it is, a successful forehand flick to follow, short rally. For a while it felt like, at least when we talked about it, this is what Wang Manyu would have to do. I think any opportunity, clearly for either of them, when they see a good opportunity to spring and try to capture, they will. Probably just a crowd member calling out a flash in the interest of the players. Ooh, for the briefest of moments, I got distracted by Wang Manyu's posture. After that shot, I don't know if she stood up straighter than usual, but it looked like she was out of the point in a weird way.
It felt like she came up with the shot. Maybe thinking it was going to go long or something,
That's
and then
how
it didn't.
Right, exactly. No, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
That can be distracting. From time to time, you'll see a player do that. Who was it that we saw duck under the table yesterday? Not hold up the racket?
Let's see. I can't remember now. Odo?
No. That's right, it was. Good
was
call.
it? Yeah.
So 12 of the last 16 points before this were Wang Manyu's. Well, now, we have to remember from the start of this game, Sun Ying Sha's on the side that hasn't lost yet. Wang Manyu wins this game. She's one game away from taking the title.
And she could have easily gone 2-0 down as well. She was 1-0 down and game point down.
Looking smooth right now. She's got the score that Sha had last game before she won 5 points in a row, Wang Manyu. 6 game points for a 3-2 lead. A little welt on the leg. It's a fair trade. Shasha will take that 5 more times if she can. 5 game points left. And there it is. It's a 3-2 lead. Wang Manyu is 1 game away from taking down Her Majesty, the Royal Highness, Lady Shasha, Baby Buddha, but it's not over. She's been described as the mentally toughest player in the game. Ice in the veins, but right now, it is heating up here as pressure builds. Wang Manyu has beaten Shasha 9 times before on the international stage. She's close. And a dominant game, 11-5, but this is not over. As things are heating up here, guess who's warming up in the practice hall? Bruna Takahashi will be playing the men's singles final. Nope, the guy on the other side of the table, Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil. Man, chop block attempted and stretching it out. Lieutenant Dan, nope, it's Wang Chuqin stretching it out and keeping his hips ready. He's always stretching when we see him in the warm-up hall, doing a little butterfly there. A man who knows he needs to stay flexible when he pounces. That's the men's singles final. It'll be following this. The world's been waiting for it. Brazil versus China, not the first time in modern history.
Sixth game, Wang to serve, level.
So here we go, game number 6. It's a must-win for Shasha. Wang Manyu wins this, she takes the title. It's a good shovel serve, short.
Man, now the pressure's piling on Sun Ying-sha and the noise in the Infinity Arena is getting louder and louder. She's managed to strike a few chords of concern here, Wang Manyu. Looking for first WTT title of the year in singles.
A little fortune, and with that, she capitalizes. Getting the fortune is one part. It might be the first step, but being ready for when the luck comes, that's where the preparation pays off. Good placement back into the middle. Shasha gets her first point in this must-win game number 6.
Good reaction, the depth, the trajectory key there, as well as the placement. Wang Manyu sometimes getting caught a little bit too close to the table. Tougher to really distance herself in the right way as someone who's a little bit taller and as someone who's got longer levers. That push, the perfect shutdown.
Clever idea. Wang Manyu goes inside out with that forehand as she just showed us after the point. Just to try and buy herself a little bit of time. That one, very unusual shot, rare even. And in the rally, the backhand to that forehand side, it was just Shasha who took control when the ball slowed down.
Four points in a row here from Sun Ying-sha.
Not a bad turnaround to come into the towel break. She was down 0-2. Remember, just over 30% of the time, they send it to a decider. Score-wise, Sun Ying-sha doubled the fish of Wang Manyu.
Nice forehand kill there from Wang. Bit of respite there after that streak from Shasha.
the sound. It is the highest clicking sound, that forehand flick. Xia up by 2 once again. Soft hands. Serve doesn't appear to have a lot of spin, and she follows it quickly as soon as she realizes it's an open racket that's not going to come through the ball. Power and placement pays off. Nice change of pace as Sun Ying-sha slows it down with Wang Manyu behind the table.
She looks at her racket. The ball didn't fully get the traction she was looking for there, but it was a well-placed ball.
Very shallow on the table. It almost seemed as if it came off the back of the net there. Tough to tell. Regardless, 2 points up, Xia. In the flow right now. Wang Manyu just moving, holding nothing back as soon as the ball comes along.
And the longer this goes on, the more you fancy Sun Ying-sha here. She strolls to the towel box. Be interesting to have a look at the record in deciders whenever they've gone there.
The interesting thing is we get that stat should they go to a decider, but it's not against each other. We can figure that out ourselves. We've got a match to watch. The pace you can see down here. Another look, another perspective as Wang Manyu drives it home.
The eel, as they call her, electric there.
Mainly because Manyu sounds a lot like eel in Mandarin. She can't slither past Sun Ying-sha in this game. Trying to stay loose and eel-like. Touch play and the long push idea carries a bit long for the table. Wang Manyu has come back from much greater deficits than this before. There's a humility in Wang Manyu's face. It's so interesting to see the body language between these two. And body language or not, Sun Ying-sha coolly comes back with a plan, and much like her timeout when she was up 10-9 after many points taken against, a serve comes out here and is very effective.
Can't tell whether Wang Manyu's flicking earlier than she knows she should, or whether she's just a little bit nervous right now. But struggling to open with the guide flick, and there the backhand flick.
And it is 3 game points to send this to the final and deciding game, a game number 7. 8 times before they've been in the decider. The last 3 Xia's won, but we're not there yet. Wang Manyu with a big serve here. Long, fast kicker to the backhand. The shovel serve earns an outright point. 1 game point saved, 3rd towel break. Xia's been effective on the serves. She's got 2 should she need the second one. Save with the spin. Forehand. You might have been getting ready for a decider. It's still very possible, but all it takes There's a little shift in confidence here. One more point for Wang Manyu, and suddenly game number 7 is no longer a guarantee. But now it is Shasha with the forehand flick. And we are going to the D, to the side, to the dirt. Game number 7. Pack your snacks and healthy beverages and tell your friends what they need to be watching if they're not already. The final game in the women's singles draw to determine the champion in the great rivalry of our generation. Sun Ying-sha, world number 1, and Wang Manyu, world number 2, alone on the table with no timeouts left. We'll play one final and deciding game. It's been close throughout. The most dominant game was game number 5 that went to Wang Manyu, but the momentum now with the world number 1, how do they do in the deciders? Stay right here to find out.
Whoa, both of these players very, very good in the deciding game. And look at Shasha's there, nearly 80%, Adam.
78% in the decider to 67. So 2/3 of the time, Wang Manyu wins. Shasha, almost 4 out of 5, more than 3 out of every 4.
Sun to serve. Level.
So here we go. Final game, the decider to determine the champion. Oh, back edge of the table for Shasha after an awkwardly spinning ball.
So this is the same kind of score as the World Championship final. Sun Ying-sha preventing Wang Manyu from winning her second first place finish there and winning her second in the process. What a final this has been, and what a forehand from Sun Ying-sha. The odds stacked in her favor in more ways than one, but you never ever know.
2-all.
Float serve, Shasha pushing it, heavy spin shot. Look at that. Last 32 points. Dead even.
Oh, big backhand from a step behind the table. Wang Manyu showing that she's still got the grit, the pressure turned up a notch. One soft shot, and that's enough. Right back into control, and on the reach, springs into that one. Ball wasn't even in what you might call a sweet spot, but she makes it her own sweet spot. She expands said sweet spot. Continued pressure here. Shasha going where you want, that wide forehand. Not from very far on the forehand side, but a step around here to put the pressure on.
She wasn't too affected by the change of pace. Good blocking from Wang Manyu, focusing on what she can control, the world number 1.
Started with the step around. The follow-up was across court. By the way, in the midst of watching this match, I might have miscounted. It might actually be 10 times that they've gone to the decider.
Okay.
And if that's accurate, 40% of the time Wang Manyu has won. One fishing shot in the next. Spin, she says. Keep going. Stay in it. No need to get passive That one right there. Interesting.
Seemed like a bit of a missed contact, but
Could have been a misread on my part in the game of charades.
talking about the backhand, the shallow one.
Ah. Right back down the line. They will switch sides here with Shasha up by 2. Some momentum here. Patterns have been changing throughout. In terms of who wins games, in terms of where shots are going. We had a lot of backhand-to-backhand rallies early on. We don't have to think back. It feels like it was an hour ago, and it might have been at this point. The first point of this match. That whole testing phase, they're done with that.
5-4.
Jeez, man. If testing is like training, they are in the full heat of battle right now. This is where adrenaline kicks in. The reserve tank. 1 point ball game as Wang Manyu is just on the tail of Shasha. Oh, the change of pace slows it down. Wang Manyu takes spin off this ball. Watch one more time. Net recovery, long push, awkward ball, shallow inside the table. Completely changing the timing. Clever play. That's nice. Shasha telling her you got some sweat on the racket. That's nice. Jeez. We've seen this serve cause outright points before. Not quite as deep to the backhand this time, but watch how fast the feet are. Shasha turns and says, I want a full stroke and I want to get on top of this.
Yeah, once bitten, twice shy. Crystal clear, no hesitation. I was just trying to see on that slow-mo replay a bit of an indication. Couldn't see an obvious one that was going to go long, but what a read.
Whoa, leaves the whole table open, but enough quality on it, and the forehand flick sets up a 2-point lead. Shasha at the second towel break. Soft touch, up in the air. Lost some balance there, but you could see the leg muscle on the left leg alone while she was standing on 1 foot. When the shot's quality enough, sometimes the recovery is not a question. She's trying to stretch out here. Keep all her energy, avoid cramping or tightening up. Wang Manyu. But even with all the spin coming in, a net recovery forehand win out of Shasha, out of reach past the wingspan of Wang Manyu.
Completely unbothered by that net cord. A decent flick from Wang Manyu. 6 of the last 8 points to Sun-Ying Xia. She's so close here to winning her 3rd WTT Champions Macao title.
You can hear the nerves and the tension in the room. The ball touches the net, and it's like a funny bone for some of the seats in the crowd. 4 points in front. After what, 5 all?
Yeah.
So 4 in a row. Shasha just 2 points away from her 17th WTT title. The defending champ edging closer. And now it is championship points. Wang Manyu serving. She's got a long way to go. No timeouts left. The trophies await.
10-6.
Championship point saved. A step in the right direction. She's had several moments to come back. She was down 5-10. Came back to 8. She was down 4-10. Came back to 9. Okay, 5-10 again to 6-10. We've seen how they play in deciders, their stats. Shasha takes care of business. Her Royal Highness has captured the title once again. World #1, continuing to distance herself from the rest of the world Lady Shasha reigns supreme and the crowd loves it. Game number 7, she was down 2-3 after being beaten 11-5, and that was enough. When the going gets tough, Shasha turns up the next level. Scores on screen, 11-9 in the 6th, 11-6 in the 7th. Right now, Shasha has demonstrated why she is world #1 for more than 3 years straight. And it seems like it could be a long time before she moves from that spot. Quite a demonstration here in this marathon match, Fraser.
An absolute treat to watch, an absolute pleasure to be a part of. Sun Ying-sha has now won as many WTT Champions titles as Wang Manyu has won Champions titles overall. She's so far ahead of the rest of the pack, that pack being the world, and goodness gracious me, what a world beater she is.
An hour 16 minutes, this is nearly the length of the Chen Xingtong Hanying Expedite match. 71-69, Shasha with only 2 points more than her opponent. And service-wise, just a bit more than 1% better on serve. Marathon indeed, and we're gonna have a chance to hear from Her Royal Highness Sun Ying-sha with John Dykes.
What a final. What a win for Sun Ying-sha, a champion again here in Macau. Congratulations, Shasha. That was an amazing match. First of all, tell us how you beat Manyu tonight.
真是一场精彩绝伦的比赛，再次恭喜莎莎卫冕 WTT 澳门冠军赛的女单冠军，确实是非常精彩的比赛。可以跟我们分享一下此刻的心情是如何战胜曼玉的吗？
我觉得，首先确实，我觉得这场比赛其实我跟曼玉双方发挥的其实都非常精彩，然后我们也都拼尽全力了，确实又是打满7局的一场比赛。我觉得其实到最后，我觉得不论输赢，其实这场比赛对于我们2个人来说，可能都是一个很好的这种收获吧。但当然还是非常开心，能够再次在澳门的赛场上能够卫冕 WTT 女单冠军吧。然后也非常感谢大家来到现场支持我。
First of all, both Manyu and I played great tonight. We both went all out. And as you can see, this was a 7-set game. Win or lose, we both have great memories and takeaways from this match. Of course, I'm happy to defend my title once again in Macau here. And a big thank you to my fans for supporting me here.
And they have been loud. Now, when you win a match like that, you have to celebrate. So tell me, do you have any plans for a celebration here in Macau? Is there something you like to eat and treat yourself to when you come to Macau?
那既然我们取得胜利，今晚就是庆祝的时刻，是否有任何的庆祝计划呢？是否种草过任何澳门的美食？今天就想一饱口福来犒劳自己呢？
确实，今天晚上还是跟之前彤彤说的吧，请大家吃饭。但我觉得。
Well, for tonight, as Tongtong once said, I will treat my fans.
Oh, wow, okay. Last thing, my ears are telling me your fans are super noisy tonight. Any message for them?
那最后呢？其实今天我的耳膜告诉我，在场的球迷给予了你山呼海啸的欢呼声和掌声，有什么话想要送给他们吗？
确实，我觉得今天这场比赛，其实确实我跟曼玉双方确实打的也都非常精彩，不论是这种对抗还是这种来回，其实都发挥了自己最好的这种质量吧。但当然还是，确实非常感谢大家能够来到澳门，然后支持我们，然后当然也希望自己在接下来的比赛当中能够有更好的表现，然后也给大家呈现更多精彩的比赛。
Well, for tonight's match, both Manyu and I delivered amazing performances with high-quality rallies and shots. And once again, I would like to thank all of you for coming to Macau to support us. And in upcoming games, I hope I can deliver better performance.
Again, congratulations, Gong Si Ni, Xia Xia, fantastic. Our WTT Champions Macau 2025 winner, Sun Yingxia.
Thank you.
Well, that is the icing on the cake, Sun Yingxia. Thank you in English to everybody. She'll take her fans out for dinner? What percentage? My goodness, find me a restaurant that has room for that. The streets would be flooded with tables, napkins, hot pot, whatever you need to serve all the fans. We'll see. Macau's got some wonderful eateries here. She can afford to take many of these fans wherever they want to go tonight. The winner has just pocketed an extra 60,000 US dollars and 1,000 world ranking points. Stick around to have a chance to see your favorite stars in the game as they chill out a little bit and collect the fruits of their labor. The women's singles trophy presentation is coming up in just a bit. You don't want to miss it. Stay right here. That's right, the China Smash is just around the corner. Of course, we've got a trophy presentation and one more match to watch here, but this is massive. The last Grand Smash of the year. The first year that's ever had 4 Grand Smashes right in the heart of table tennis. Beijing, China, September 25th through October 5th. Shasha Truls is back. Mima Ito and Ugo Calderano, who you'll be seeing play out here on the main stage in just a little while. You don't want to miss this. If you've never been to China, if you're anywhere near it, this is the time to be there. The China Smash in its 2nd edition will be off the Chizane. Trust me. So with a packed house here, we await some of our favorite players. That's right, the top 2 in the world battled and gave us quite a show that only these 2 could have, is how it feels. So as I sit here with myself, getting ready for all sorts of excitement, man, did I enjoy that match. And I know there's a lot of anticipation for the match to come. There are 2 players in the world that absolutely pack the house. And if we ever host a Grand Smash in Brazil, I guarantee you the player in the final alongside Wang Chuqin will pack the house every single day. But Sun Yingsha and Wang Chuqin are the 2 players I was speaking of, one of whom you will take a moment to enjoy seeing here with Wang Manyu. It's time now for the trophy presentation for the women's singles.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for WTT Champions Macau 2025, presented by Galaxy Entertainment Group. Let's welcome the presenters to the trophy presentation of women's singles.
女士们、先生们，这里是 WTT 澳门冠军赛2025由银河娱乐集团呈现的决赛之夜，让我们欢迎女子单打颁奖嘉宾
Mr. Alex Wang Yaoling, representative of the Secretary for Social Affairs and Culture of the Macau SAR Government.
澳门特别行政区政府社会文化司司长代表黄有利顾问
Mr. Munir Basa, WTT Events Executive Director.
WTT 赛事执行总监穆尼尔·巴萨先生
Mr. Buddy Lim, Director of Corporate Affairs of Galaxy Entertainment Group.
银河娱乐集团企业事务董事林志成先生
Now let's welcome the finalist of women's singles, Wang Manyu.
现在有请女单亚军来自中国的选手王曼玉。感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Let's now invite Mr. Munir Basa, WTT Events Executive Director, to present the trophy to the finalist.
有请 WTT 赛事执行总监穆尼尔·巴萨先生为亚军颁发奖杯。
Thank you to the presenter. Congratulations to the finalist.
感谢颁奖嘉宾，祝贺亚军选手。
Now let's welcome the champion of women's singles, Sun Yingsha.
现在让我们有请女单冠军，来自中国的选手孙颖莎。
Let's now invite Mr. Buddy Lim, Director of Corporate Affairs of Galaxy Entertainment Group, to present the souvenir to the champion.
有请银河娱乐集团企业事务董事林志成先生为冠军送上纪念品。
Thank you to the presenter.
感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Let's now invite Mr. Alex Wang Yaoling, representative of the Secretary for Social Affairs and Culture of the Macau SAR government, to present the trophy to the champion.
有请澳门特别行政区政府社会文化司司长代表黄有利顾问为冠军颁发奖杯。
Thank you to the presenter.
感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Now let's invite finalists and presenters to take a group photo.
有请颁奖嘉宾与冠军、亚军共同合影留念。
And now the time for the champion. Please enjoy the moment.
现在冠军的专属时刻，请尽情展示冠军奖杯。
Now is the selfie time for the champion.
接下来是冠军自拍时刻。
Congratulations to the champion.
So there you have it, Sun Ying-sha with another selfie moment, another tall trophy, and another top prize. World #1 by a long shot, Sha on top of the world. This is her world, this is her time. How much longer will it be? Time will tell. She's got the padding in the rankings, but coming up next, we've got someone, the thrill from Brazil, who's beaten Wang Chuqin before, and Wang Chuqin who's looking at becoming world #1 once again if he can win this battle. Stick around, the men's singles final is the last match of this event.
What an evening it's already been here in the Infinity Arena. And following that epic victory for Sun Yingsha, now an opportunity for another of the Chinese players as Wang Chuqin goes against a familiar foe in Brazil's Hugo Calderano. It's all come down to this. It's the final of the men's singles here in WTT Champions Macau 2025. The purple pageantry arrives at a climax. The lights are shining, and this is a meeting of men who have been involved already this year in epic encounters. A repeat of the singles final from the ITTF World Championships. Wang beating Calderano, but Calderano's already bested Wang on Macau soil this season, winning against him in the Men's World Cup. So these two have got some unfinished business that will be finished this evening here in the Infinity Arena. This is how they have got here. It was Calderano earlier today beating the conqueror of the world #1, Lin Shidong, Anders Lind. Meanwhile, Wang Chuqin overcame the Korean Jang Woo-jin, and that is why this is our final. Now, it's time for our combatants.
From Brazil, Hugo Calderano.
And here he comes, as we like to call him, the thrill from Brazil, the first player from the Americas to lift a prestigious World Cup, and of course, on the WTT series, he knows what it takes to win, but this will be bigger than anything.
From China, Wang Chuqin.
And Wang Chuqin knows what it takes to win in Macau, of course. These men are serial winners at different levels of WTT series. For Wang Chuqin, he took home the titles in 2022 and 2023 in this very event. That's the caliber of the contest we have. It's the best of 7 games, remember, and we've just seen the women's singles final go all the way. So don't make too many plans. This one could be similarly epic. Well, I've already told you a few things about the head-to-head, but if we zoom in solely on the WTT context in that regard, Champions Macau 2022, a straight games win for Wang Chuqin, and then a star contender in Budapest that same year. It was a closer one, but it was also won 3-2 by the man from China. More on that rivalry soon, but let's just check in on Rafał Zlazarczyk, who has the honor of umpiring this final this evening. Players spending a last moment or two with their respective coaches. Paco, of course, with Hugo Calderano, and the legendary Wang Hao with some last words of instruction for Wang Chuqin. In a moment, you'll be hearing from Adam Bobrow. He's just gathering his breath after that epic final call and the trophy presentation. His thoughts on this in just a moment. Now the coin toss.
Okay, I have blue and red. What color for you? Blue. So red for you. And we have red. You want? Which side?
So, Chuqin wins the toss. This is just the start of something special. Adam, great to have you here. Who else would want to be here but Adam, in terms of talking about a rivalry that just feels like it's turning into something special. This has been coming over the last year or so. The best of the rest, maybe, against one of the best of the Chinese.
Yeah, Wang Chuqin looked like he would be dominant for some time in the second half of 2024. Lin Shidong was there, but Hugo Calderano right now seems to be in the form of his life. From the World Cup to the World Championships to back home in Brazil, he came incredibly close to 3 titles. Only this man stood in front of him in Doha, and that was after one of the most gut-wrenching semifinals against Liang Jingquin. Nerve-wracking. It was almost a horror film, depending on which side of that, you were on.
So it's been building to something special. Wang Chuqin, look at that, number 2 in the rankings. We're going to be talking about that soon, because tonight it's not just about the silverware up for grabs. There's also the very real possibility that he could reclaim the number 1 spot. Adam, his path to this final, what have you made of Chuqin's form?
Well, only dropping the 2 games was quite impressive. Lin Yunru, Zhang Wujin. I mean, this is not easy to do. He's in wonderful form. I think last time we saw him, he looked dominant. He usually does. When Tomo got the best of him recently, well, he looked dominant on the way there, but lots to play for here.
Yeah, have a little look at those ITTF World Ranking points. At the start of this event, it was Lun Shidong with 9,850 and Wang Chuqin with 8,925. You take away 1,000 there as a champion, and of course, Shidong only got 175. Plus, remember, he picked up 1,000 this week last year. So, as we understand it from our team working on this, Chuqin could lift that larger trophy and go back to #1. To be confirmed officially, but that is another subplot here. The fans reckon he will do so. 86% say he wins it. Those who've been to worldtabletennis.com. A lot to process there, Adam, but boy, oh boy, this is a final to savor.
Yeah, the rivalry, you never know on any given day. Ugo Calderano, when he's confident, has so much power, and Wang Chuqin is well calculated. He's explosive. He's got an undying effort. That's why they call him Lionheart Hope. We'll see. That throne awaits. Just a question of time.
And wherever you're watching this, thanks so much for being with us. I was just down by the table for that post-match interview. My ears are still ringing from the noise. We could have something similar here if this one takes off.
I like the first point for Ugo in terms of the quality of the push. You think of Ugo, you think power. And on the third ball, he didn't force an attack. He calmly, smoothly pushed long with surprise.
But he's up against somebody who has looked so electric at times here, particularly, as you said, over the last couple of rounds.
Particularly over the table. That ball's way inside the baseline. Just high enough to take advantage of.
Then the variation on the service, even early on here, going deep into Calderano to square it up at 2-2.
Good idea there. Has the opening on the parallel.
Stop. No flash, please.
That was a last-minute call from
2-0.
our umpire. Bit of crowd control.
There's a temptation to play the high percentage shot under pressure. That said, Ugo is incredibly clever and knows that if he does, it's not going to help his chances. So he tries to play that back on the parallel.
There he is. There'll be plenty of more chances to admire, to marvel, to wow at that. But that is Chuqin doing what he does, spinning to the right, the ball flying into the distance.
The confidence behind this shot in the leg sweep, it's so iconic. We only saw it later in the match in his last round or two. This is an early start, and he's taking Ugo quite seriously from the very, very get-go.
And further to that point, Adam, in terms of preparation for this final, remember, both played semi-finals earlier on today. They couldn't have wished for a faster, easier, smoother path. Both getting it done very quickly. Full focus on what comes right now, the final.
Clever play from under the table. He spins it, keeps it shallow, so the ball never jumps out to where Wang Chuqin gets a comfortable opportunity. Wang Chuqin had to play that from knee height.
Let. 4-0. Let. 4.
Ooh, awkward ball left on the table as Ugo brushes that and leaves it middle of the table. Think about how many times we've seen Wang Chuqin drill anything that sits up at all over the table. Calderano, well, he's good behind the table. He's going to fight to stay as close as possible whenever possible.
Again, just over the table. He has a glimmer, a glimpse of an opportunity, and in a flash, it's taken.
Yeah, he turns that racket down quickly, and then just a little bit more backswing for that extra snap. Oh, short side of the table. In a rally like this, Wang Chuqin's getting all prepared for the main course on the backhand corner. And Ugo says, sorry, wrong destination.
Oh, look at that.
little head shake there.
Interestingly, he went back to the player instead of going for the wide open table there, Calderano. It worked nonetheless.
I thought that was a very clever receive. The way he did, I don't know if I've ever seen him do that. I watched a lot of Ugo play. It wasn't your typical push. It was like a chop block, except without much rotation on it. He just guided it wide to the forehand. There was all sorts of deception up in that shot. A lot of awkwardness in the rally, and it's Wang Chuqin who's able to put the pressure on and send Ugo behind. Heavy spin on the underspin, the push. Ugo Calderano's been using pushes in such a versatile way. I didn't expect push to be the MVP, the main topic of conversation in this match. It's only just the first game, but it's been quite starring so far.
Again, so quickly into the table when he gets the chance. And that represented a chance by Chuqin standards. Again on the attack.
Yeah, talking about the push, it's worked well for Ugo, but this is what Wang Chuqin does. He finds ways to shut down what's working, and here he says, my specialty right now, putting the ball away. I'm going to earn that as quickly as I can and consistently do the deed. Even in the game of hot potato, as the whole Chinese team watches on, including the current world #1, depending on how long that lasts. It's been some time. A lot of credit to
February,
Lin
I think. February was when they switched.
Yeah, I guess the question is how long will it last, though?
That's 4 points in a row now. What a time to turn it on. 2 game points for the #2 seed.
Much of the world wondered after the Liang Jingquin match. We heard the interview from Ugo Calderano. What if we were to see these two go at it when they're fresh and in form? Today they are fresh and in form. Little bit of fishing from Ugo, and it's a counterattack from behind the table. Ball kid almost with the leaping catch, but what a way to save game point. No man's land, but Ugo is the one man who can stand there. Obviously at the top of the game a few, but good topspin on this, keeps it baseline, a lot of pressure, anticipates the inside out forehand and rockets back to save a game point.
But not this time. He wins it with that second service. The team cheers and celebrates, and that is a winning start for Wang Chuqin. Not without its problems that game, but when it mattered, he came through.
Good placement there into the middle, subtle adjustments. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye. We do our best, but this is what makes them superheroes in our mind. Wang Chuqin leads 1-0.
Well, we've been talking about this, and this is the number here in terms of the ITTF Table Tennis World Rankings for week 37. 9,850 for Shidong, 8,925 for Chuqin. 1,000 ranking points up for grabs, 175 acquired for a quarterfinal finish for Lin Shidong. But remember, as this moves on a 12-month basis, the 1,000 that he picked up for winning here last year would then be leaving the account, as it were. And as a result, only with a win, and again, this is something that we're only just really processing in terms of how close it could be in those rankings. With a win, we understand, that would see Chuqin surpass him. A defeat, not so.
Second game. Wang to serve. Level.
Tight serve to start off game number 2. Wang Chuqin, when he was asked to build his perfect player for serves, he said himself. And you can understand why. He sets up so many third balls. It's handcuffing inside the table. Your serve is so important, but if you have an incredibly good third ball, suddenly your serve puts that much more pressure on the receiver.
So he's receiving at the moment, but I'm fascinated in that point, Adam, because as we've already seen from Calderano, he has so much nuance, variation, and even way back off the table, he can be dangerous. So it looks as if Chuqin, especially in this match, has said, well, let's not let that happen. Let's just end this, particularly on serve, and get in, step into the table where possible, and not allow the rallies to exchange, and not allow the Brazilian to demonstrate all those weapons he possesses.
Yeah, Hugo Calderano, incredibly powerful, but also really good in the rally. So, yeah, Wang Chuqin doing a wonderful job to shut it down. In the last round, Hugo did face a left-hander, Anders Lind, where he won 4-0. That's the only left-hander he's played since the round of 32, which was the start of this event. Now we're talking combination play, rock back on the heels and right back down the line. Not the first time we've seen a similar pattern from Hugo. This is, again, knowing the patterns. There's so little time, just such a very brief moment to recognize with peripheral vision. Wang Chuqin saying, use that head. No need to reference old nicknames.
Left. 2-4. 3-4.
Of course, we've seen plenty of the high toss serve from Hugo Calderano, but that's another little variation, isn't it, that's going to come to play here. And to a broader point, I know it's a gross generalization, but is there something about players who deliver something that the very best Chinese players don't always see? Maybe we've seen in recent times from Simon Gauzy to Truls Moregard, obviously to Anders Lind, something a bit different.
Yeah, well, with Anders, there's a ton different. Almost everything was different. But the players you just mentioned, a few of them are quite unconventional. Truls, who else did you mention?
Gauzy, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, I mean, these are all incredibly unconventional players that are not afraid to bring out drop blocks, strawberries, change of pace. Anders with some of the fastest, most powerful shots you could ever imagine. Soft hands, and he leaves the bait right there on the hook and trying to take it out of the cheek as he comes back for the forehand. Wang Chuqin on the line here. And cross court, it's Hugo Calderano getting the fish he wanted. Second time we've seen him shake his head like that in recent history.
And to that head shake, it's because he's playing Calderano, who has the capacity to do things like that. But on the balance of play, Chuqin should be happy enough.
Well, we also saw him when he was up 7-0 slap his hip with some, I'd say, self-standards anger. But here he's been very vocal, unusually vocal, Wang Chuqin, in this match.
I might just tell you something about the respect he has, of course, for his opponent here, and the realization that he's up against somebody who is flying at the moment and going back over a period of months, quite some months. Calderano has just looked like someone waiting to end that elite level drought when it comes to the top series in the WTT. Whoa.
Nice bend to the wrist there to take the backhand out wide to the wide forehand. Easier said than done, but against the left-handed player, if you can hit the wide forehand relatively early, tends to be effective. But again, depends on the occasion. Context means everything. Drills him into that middle on the backhand corner.
And that is to the liking of Bruna Takahashi, looking on, supporting all on her lonesome. She's there for him, though.
Protecting her ears, nonetheless. I've had my AirPods in all week.
I don't blame her. It is loud out there.
Crafty hand skills, the soft touch. Ugo's used that touch to set up winners before, but well adapted on the other side from the top seed left. Again, we're looking at the second seed in black with the headband on versus the number 4 seed. With all the upsets we've seen throughout this event, these two, well, to play to the semis was expected, at least. So not a crazy shock that they're here.
We've seen this before, Adam. Maybe he's a bit more in control of this game, but in the first, when it mattered, when they got to the business end of the game, Chuqin just stepped up a little.
Little tongue there in the corner of the mouth to me says Ugo's got some conversation.
10-7.
There is no TTR, just a reminder, the Champions event. That said, players still can be warned for their serves on either side for whatever reason the umpire or assistant sees fit. A little bit off the top of the net, but full throttle, full speed ahead. That leaping, lunging Lionheart step as he pounces in and takes his second game. This is an in-form Wang Chuqin.
The pounce of the Lion, I like that. He's done it throughout this match. And with that, he's taken the lion's share of the points and 2 games already. He's on top here against the Brazilian.
升势或者想上你们先开始加强拧巴，很想把节奏放慢，拖成对中远台。对，中远台这边，中远台这儿，实在不行我一个人对拉，尽量的吧，能对拉。
You can hear some last instructions there from Wang Hao bellowed out above the hubbub here in the Infinity Arena to his player, who's in very strong position right now. He's taken the first 2 games against this dangerous opponent from Brazil, Hugo Calderano.
Third game, Calderano serve, love all.
Sorry, flash.
The words of Wang Chuqin, who spotted that, I think.
Busted out a little English there, one of the team leaders in speaking English. You can see how active Wang Chuqin is. If this ball comes over, he's got weight forward right behind the ball every time. He's moving in quickly. Watch this on the backhand. Just right there ready to take it before the ball even reaches its peak. Reaction time, super important in this game of decision making, as demonstrated here.
Coach Paco looking on, knowing that his player is in a very difficult situation at the moment. Because Chuqin is looking sharp.
With all that power coming in to react, it takes a bit of time to recover. The full stroke, and then to get the racket back. If he plays a softball on the table, well, Wang Chuqin will crush it. He didn't spend much returning the shot coming in. A good serve here to get on the scoreboard. Hugo Calderano. Still early parts of this game. You just can't let Wang Chuqin run away, especially considering the context of where the match is at.
And there's another.
Think back to the first point of this match. It was the push of Hugo Calderano. And even for the first half of the first game, there were a lot of very successful pushes. It might be counterintuitive, and that might be what makes it so effective out here. When you prepare for Hugo Calderano, you prepare for power, you prepare for parallels, you prepare for rallies, speed, but surprise pushes?
We've actually spent quite a lot of time this week celebrating the humble push and talking about its unsung heroic qualities, much as the pace-off ball as well at times.
Yeah, it's important. I think, again, at the end of the match, nobody looks back and says, oh, you didn't attack enough to really take that title. You won the title. That's it.
3-5.
I also think, as I'll reference probably for as long as I'm in this seat, 2017 Men's Singles World Championships final, where Mao Long beat Fan Zhendong, attacking less, opening the rally less on attack. And the reason I bring that up is Wang Chuqin, as we saw a few points ago, where Hugo had that ripping forehand and Wang Chuqin very efficiently blocked it back, bought himself positioning in time.
At the moment, it's the defensive countering skills of Calderano that have pulled him within one.
Push, 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 and a slow spin. As you mentioned, defense, there's an element of guarded sort of caution. I've got the big guns, I've got the explosive shots, but until you prove to me that you're ready for something else, well, I'm going to give you something else time and time again.
He's dangerous there. We've seen him before.
Little clip off the net on the way down, but it's not the first time, as you mentioned, that from behind the table, a very athletic, very powerful Hugo Calderano is able to spin his way back.
This is some comeback, some run of points for the Brazilian.
It was down 0-4.
And again, you put a heat map here and look at success, and there's a period a few steps back on the right side of the table the Calderona's really profited from.
Yeah, this is smart placement here. That's a very tough ball to get on top of with the backhand, so it leaves Wang Chuqin either looking for a spin shot to the middle of the table or inside out. And look at that momentum. Calderano with 7 of the last 8 points. If there is to be a turning point in this match, Calderano would like it to be now. Very smart play from Wang Chuqin. Again, thinking to the tactics of Ugo with the push, and waiting for the timing. He was baited into a ball that was below the net, just barely off the table. Still a decent shot, but at this level, decent won't cut it.
This comes as a surprise, doesn't it? The Calderano doesn't make that?
Exactly, and that's why we heard the roar out of Lionheart, because Ugo Calderano's so good in this rally. It was just played a little bit more onto his elbow. You could see him there pulling the elbow back and the hand behind the head a la Quadriaruna just to create space. Had that ball been a little bit more to his forehand, Calderano would have crushed it. Clever play from the world number 2. Can't get more quality than this, a spanking inside the table. Out of all the different threats that Wang Chuqin has brought to the game so far in this match, his over-the-table play has been impeccable. Interesting. We saw one attempted earlier against Anders Lind. But here, the score, the context is very different. Wang Chuqin getting back into this rally. It felt like from that far behind the table, he had time. In some senses, if he makes the shot, it could be quite rattling. You're not practicing against it. It's going to come back a different quality, much like his two-handed backhand.
He backs himself because he's pulled it off so many times.
Right.
The behind the back.
So not just a clever punt.
8, 9.
But you're right. Pull that one off, and it's something you don't see. Gets in the head of the opponent. 8, 9.
A pretty funny feeling if you looked in the practice hall. Wang Chuqin did not have a practice partner hitting him behind the back shots nor two-handed backhands.
I think I'm going to go along with you on that one. Another flash.
Tight serve, deceptive on the underspin. The last two serve combination is with Wang Chuqin. It's either going to be 3-0 or 1-2 after this.
But what we've seen in the previous 2 games is it would suggest it becomes 3-0 because this is where he's just stretched away when they've got to the end of the previous 2 games. And that's just recent historical precedent, nothing else. Chuqin's looked good at this point of the games.
To set up game point here, a half-long serve, and quickly on that third ball, a pattern that we've seen. Quick serve, quick attack. Second serve here, chance to put it away and take a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 championship match.
And that's what he does. Chuqin doing it again. 3 games in a row now, and he moves within 1 game of that championship that you mentioned. This is the final here at WTT Champions Macau 2025. Someone who's already won twice here in this event, in this city, knows that he's 1 game away right now. 11-9, 11-7, and back to an 11-9. Now, we've already spoken about what happens when the latest ITTF World Rankings come out next week and what it might mean to Wang Chuqin, but how about this? The race to the WTT Finals also has something on it. Now, it would be scant consolation for Hugo Calderano should he lose here tonight, but actually, win or lose, he will qualify for Hong Kong for the WTT Finals in December. That much we know already. But now we look to 16th. Simon Gauzy occupying that because it's the best 16 in the world that go to Hong Kong on those finals. Look at those just on the cusp, on the cut line, and look at the points that they could yet accrue. Is this going to be it? Are we going to see a straight games win? Or has Hugo Calderano got something special in him? Well, we know he does, but can he apply it now?
So in case you were curious about if this week's event has already been calculated into that race to the finals, Anders Lind does not have the points he's earned yet, nor does anybody from this week. So after the new world rankings come out Tuesday, so do the updated race to the finals rankings.
So that's just a subplot. That's the backstory to what's going on here. Right now, the immediate story is about who wins this title. And this man is looking a hot favorite right now.
Well, I'm sure much of the crowd would agree with you in terms of the adjectives there and the setup to this fourth game. Solid start right inside the baseline, turns, and a lot of power comes through that forehand.
Be interesting to see whether Chuqin literally puts the foot down, stamps to go in search of this win now. Doesn't have to get it done in this game, but it would be the sort of thing he might do.
You're much hipper than I am. I still use literally in its old-fashioned sense. So right now, definitely the king of the jungle out here. Lionheart raises the fist and his score.
I was thinking about those forehands where he just stamps that foot down and gets it out the way. That was the literally.
Oh, fascinating.
There you go.
Oh, you turn your back on me, Holmes? Not this time.
Oh.
Wow, La Pada. Latino flair, a slap back. We saw it in the last few days.
Where's Chuqin? He's over there shaking his head.
After being slapped like that, understandable. Just try to shake it off, get the blood flowing.
But he comes straight back with the point.
And in all fairness, how many times does that shot come back, let alone with the quality that it just did? On the rare occasion that Chuqin leaves the table open, it's usually for a reason. The ball doesn't come back. When you think you know and you're confirmed on what serve is coming, a quick pivot here. Wow. And a timeout on Calderano's side. I could watch that replay over and over again just to see the contact and when Wang Chuqin makes his first move on that pivot.
So Team Calderano backpedaling, backs to the wall. What can they conjure up?
Certeza que cada momento de briga lá dentro tem que valer a pena. Cada momento que você passa lá dentro de briga tem que valer a pena. Continua tentando mais para lá, mais para cá, às vezes sem efeito. A Chiquita tem que fazer forte ou com pinta, não dá para ir reto. Mas vamos brigar, tem que aproveitar. Cada momento lá dentro vale a pena, tem que brigar, cada ponto. Só você consegue voltar. Vamos lá, estamos.
A come on from Paco, and he has to come on, and he has to come on strong, because Hugo Calderano, in this latest face-to-face encounter with Wang Chuqin is coming off second best. 3 down in games and points in what could be the deciding game in this match.
Shifty eyes, moments of suspense here.
But right now, the majority, the vast majority in this Infinity Arena are cheering. Have got eyes only on Wang Chuqin.
Side of the table, that's Chuqin's point. It's a different sound quality when it hits only the metal skirt around the table, but when it touches even just a bit, as Wang Chuqin has scored 12 of the last 16 points. Man on a mission.
And that mission looks as if it's going to be stamped accomplished before too long, unless Calderano can do something in this cauldron into which he has stepped.
I like the fight. There was something about the body language in the point before that felt a little bit defeated. Again, he's good behind the table. We know he's a fighter. And suddenly at the second towel break, while the scoreline is still very encouraging for Wang Chuqin, it feels much more recoverable. It doesn't feel like the landslide that 8-2 looks like on the scoreboard.
And let's see how Calderano copes now with what's being served in his direction.
From under the table, Wang Chuqin keeping it difficult. A very calculated brushing stroke to spin it shallow.
After Ugo asked him a question by going very wide on the receive. And that's 2 out of 2 on service, earning 6 championship points to become a 3-time WTT Champions Macau winner and to take away the bigger of those 2 prizes. That is that. Deafening inside the Infinity Arena. His teammates admire a storming performance to this title here in Macau.
A spectacular finish from a man who did the same in the semifinals. And here today, he has stamped his paw with authority in the soil that he plays on. From being beaten the China smash by Anders Lind to coming back 2025, this is the business end of the year, and it is quite a different look from 2024. The drop shot as Ugo tries to make a ball that would come back over the net. This could be what many fans hope for, to see their king, Wang Chuqin, at the top of the food chain once again. What touch, the drop shot.
He won it with a drop shot. How cool was that?
Most of the world wants to know why people don't try this more. And Wang Chuqin isn't helping prove the point that it's incredibly difficult to do, as he masterfully caresses that ball, slows it down, and the head nod from Ugo Calderano says, you deserved it. You're just on another level. Number 1, that's him.
And this time in Macau, it's Wang Chuqin who emerges triumphant. Not just a win, but a powerful statement win from the number 2, who would be number 1. Let's get back to the table and catch up with George, who's with Wang Chuqin.
All right, everyone, we have the winner, Wang Chuqin here. Congratulations on Wang Chuqin winning the men's singles title and becoming a 3-time champion at the WTT Champions Macau. And with this victory, you will return to world number 1 next week. Could you share your feelings about this victory and what did you take away from this tournament? 恭喜王楚钦获得男单的冠军，成就澳门冠军赛的3冠王，并将在下周重返世界第一。请分享一下此刻你的感受，以及对本次赛事的收获和总结。
谢谢。等一下。我觉得首先还是能战胜雨果，自己也非常的开心。就像正如他所说，我们在之前的比赛中也经历了几场伟大的比赛。所以说再次面对他的时候，自己也是全神贯注，自己也不论是最近的一些声音也好，包括对于目前我们队伍的现状来说也好，自己这一场球也是希望能尽自己全部的能力去赢下比赛，向大家向所有人证明，乒乓球队还是那个乒乓球队。
After defeating Hugo, as Hugo has said, we have had several great matches together. So facing him again, I was more concentrated. I gave my 100% concentration into it. So regardless of the voices from the external world, I want to prove that table tennis is still table tennis. I want to say I had tried my best and I gave my everything to win.
The fans have been with you every step of the way, and at this moment, is there something you'd like to say directly to them? 在这个冠军的背后，您的粉丝、您的球迷也有一份力量，有没有什么想对他们说的？
很开心有你们的存在。今年也借着机会跟你们说了不少话了，还是说一声谢谢你们，希望我们未来继续努力。
I am very happy to have your presence, but as I have said a lot to you this year, but I would like to say again, thank you so much. So for the future, let's go together and let's fight hard together.
谢谢王楚钦，再次恭喜 ，Congratulations to 王楚钦。
Messaging from a champion, messaging to the fans, messaging to the world. It's always worth listening to Wang Chuqin. He stops, he thinks, he might not smile or not, but he told us he was happy. But he also thought about external voices, and no matter what they said, he would disregard them. Good to hear that from him.
Yeah, I think hearing you're back at world #1 in English and not responding, then hearing it in Mandarin and not responding, that just goes to show you how high his standards are and what's really important to him. It's not the little things. He's got a big job and a lot of responsibility he puts on himself.
All right, he's also got a trophy to be presented with, and that is coming up next. Don't go away. The WTT Elite travel north from Macau into the Dragon's Lair, where it is the China Smash, coming to you from Beijing, the final Grand Smash of this remarkable 2025 year. 25th of September through to the 5th October. After that, it's Europe, and it's back-to-back WTT Champions outings in Montpellier, France, and then Frankfurt, Germany, before we get to those WTT finals in Hong Kong, China, between the 10th and 14th of December. Adam Bobberow is going to be a big part of what comes along. You must be excited, my friend, for all that.
Oh yeah, from the start of this year, I was sort of getting a little bit of withdrawal. I was like, the calendar just really bulks up, and we are now at that point of the year where we get to just table tennis as hard as we can. We get to soak it all up. The world rankings are going to move like crazy, and we will see a lot of intense competition. Think about the faces we've seen fly their flags the highest already this year in the series.
And there's so much to discuss, so much to look forward to, but right now it's a time for celebration. It's time for a champion to be crowned, and here in the Infinity Arena, it's time for our trophy presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for WTT Champions Macau 2025, presented by Galaxy Entertainment Group. Let's welcome the presenters to the trophy presentation of men's singles.
女士们、先生们，这里是 WTT 澳门冠军赛2025由银河娱乐集团呈现的决赛之夜，让我们欢迎男子单打颁奖嘉宾。
WTT CEO Mr. Steve Denton.
WTT 世界乒联首席执行官史蒂夫·丹顿先生。
Mr. Alex Wong Yao-lik, representative of the Secretary for Social Affairs and Culture of the Macau SAR government.
澳门特别行政区政府社会文化司司长代表黄有利顾问。
Mr. Buddy Lam. Now let's welcome the finalist of men's singles, Hugo Catarano.
现在有请男单亚军获得者，来自巴西的雨果。
Now invite Mr. Alex Wong Yao-lik, representative of the Secretary for Social Affairs and Culture of the Macau SAR government, to present the trophy to the finalists.
有请澳门特别行政区政府社会文化司司长代表黄有利顾问为亚军颁发奖杯。
Thank you to the presenter. Congratulations to the finalists.
感谢颁奖嘉宾，祝贺亚军选手。
Now let's welcome the champion of men's singles, Wang Chuqin.
现在有请男单冠军，来自中国的选手王楚钦。
Mr. Steve Denton to present the trophy to the champion.
有请 WTT 世界乒联首席执行官史蒂夫·丹顿先生为冠军颁发奖杯。
Thank you to the presenter.
感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Now let's invite finalists and presenters to take a group photo.
有请颁奖嘉宾与冠军、亚军共同合影留念。
Thank you to the presenters.
再次感谢。
Now let's welcome the champion of women's single, 孙颖莎。
现在有请女单冠军，来自中国选手孙颖莎。
Congratulations to the champions of men's singles and women's singles.
祝贺两位冠军。
Now let's invite champions to take a group photo.
请两位冠军合影留念。
Now is the selfie time for the champions.
Sun Ying-sha and Wang Chuqin, where have we heard that before? Adam Bobrow, two worthy champions yet again.
I think it's what the world has been waiting for. From the netizens to the stadiums filled with fans around the world, those two right there just took the titles and could not have made more people happy. It was the hedonistic answer to what the world just needed. And the #1 on the women's side and the new #1 on the men's side have retained and returned to their thrones. So this is going to make French fries and table tennis fans all around the world thrilled to the brim.
Thank you very much. Wise words from Adam Bobrow as ever. Thanks to him and Fraser Riley for being part of a commentary team that's enjoyed what's gone from the southern coast of China to the global audience. We've seen champions crowned, another chapter written, and of course, as we say goodbye from Macau, China, we'll leave you with enduring memories of how this story unfolded.
Official partners.